And our next guest correctly forecast the market was headed toward collapse back in the fall of 2007. Reggie Middleton spent years investing in real estate but got out when he saw the crash coming. He is now writing a financial blog called boombustblog.com. He joins us now to talk about the latest housing data and to tell us why he thinks the Case Shiller Home Price Index is flawed. Reggie, good to have you back with Matt and me. We talk to Professor Shiller a lot. We look at that index. Sometimes even Professor Shiller will be suspect about some of the data in terms of how it plays out. Why don't you like that bunch of data?
Okay. Well, I don't want to put it as if I don't like it. It's
well, either you do or you don't.
It's not about like it, dislike. It's about it's fit for the task at hand. Mathematically, it's a very advanced model. The problem is it leaves out much of the portions of the housing market that are currently falling and in distress right now. The Case Shiller Index doesn't measure real estate, bank-owned real estate. It doesn't measure investor flips, which are most of the activity in the lower end. It doesn't measure condos. It doesn't measure short-term prices, anybody who held a property for less than a year. It doesn't measure anything that's not a single-family detached or semi-detached house. Most of those things that are not included in that pool are what's dragging down much of the market.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, in this most recent recession, you would have thought that a drop of more than 31% was warranted. I mean, by the problems that we had. But if you look at the Case Shiller Index, that's as far as home prices have fallen. It doesn't seem to really make sense.
It doesn't. And the first thing to fall was the investor pricing. Also, when people focus on price, they miss the big picture. Suppose housing prices went up 300%. If you couldn't sell a house, it would be absolutely irrelevant. And so you have to look at actual housing sales activity and price. And if you compare and superimpose the Case Shiller Index over economic housing activity as adjusted for inflation, you'll see the index fell and then leveled off and increased a little. But activity last month, or month before last, August, was the worst month in 10, 12 years. And it's still going down roughly 37%.
The worst month since they began keeping data, right? I mean,
right. For that particular housing set, yes.
So your data is showing what? And you think it's a more comprehensive sampling, correct?
Well, it's more of a realistic view of housing activity, and it shows that housing activity is still in downfall. And
which actually mirrors a lot of what we hear, I think, Matt, a fair amount of folks that come on and say we haven't quite hit bottom.
Yeah.
So you say we're not there yet?
No. It's going to be very difficult to hit bottom. Number one, what it would take for a path to be clear to hit bottom is in contradiction with U.S. policy. You have to have more foreclosures, and if you have more foreclosures, you have the ability to find true price discovery, and you better clear out the inventory. More foreclosures is in direct contradiction to current government policy. More foreclosures which would find price discovery would wreck a bank's balance sheet, because they're holding assets significantly above market prices.
What do you think, then, of government policy right now? I mean, are they trying to, and could they be successful in engineering a soft landing where we do eventually hit the bottom, but it's not such a fast drop? Or do you think that they should leave the market to its own forces and allow us to find the price instantly?
Well, with all due respect, I think that's a slightly oversimplified question. Let me try and rephrase the answer. There are two ways we could go about it. We could do the 20-year Japanese slide, or we can fall much more quickly. The problem is, in order for us to grow, you have to have prices that people are willing and able to buy at, and we're nowhere near there. You know, you have the demand side.
How far away, by the way? You say nowhere near. How far away are we?
Again, the last time is very difficult to gauge because of all the variables that need to plug in, but I can give you an example of the variables that are still on their way down. Credit is very sparse.
We don't have much time left.
Okay, credit is very sparse. Demand is sparse due to unemployment and changing credit metrics. And supply is outrageous, from the foreclosures, from the shadow inventory, from real estate-owned properties, and the fact that banks are actually slowing down the foreclosure process on the higher end while increasing on the lower end. And in order for things to hasten, you have to go and wipe foreclosures out of the market.
All right. We have to get more time with him next time.
Because I'm curious, when you say values of new home sales have dropped 84%, I mean, they don't have much more to go.
That's what they saw in Japan about 12 years ago. And for 18 years, if you take a look at a Japanese chart, it's been going down for a very, very long time.
All right. Doesn't look pretty at all.
It's very interesting stuff. Okay, boombustblog.com. Reggie, thanks so much for joining us.
Reggie, thank you.